whole waiting, this is what it's all about. And I know you've had a lot of first games, first kind of days, but as you sit here 72 hours out, is it pretty exciting for you?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's almost that time. Best time of year, in my opinion, obviously. So I'm just excited to get it started.
What's the biggest difference this year versus walking in it this time last year? What's the biggest difference in Seth Henigan?
I mean, experience. Like I said, just having a whole entire season under my belt at the college level, and then my chemistry with my teammates. I'd say I know them a lot better, and they know me a lot better. So that obviously helps with throwing the ball and trust factor, and just the whole game. Just trusting your quarterback. That's pretty big in my opinion. So, yeah.
Speaking of experience, you played Mississippi State last year. That was your third start. So now is it kind of you know what to kind of expect, or is it different even though you faced him last year?
I mean, I'd say every year is different. Even though we faced them last year and it's the same defense coordinator, we have new players, they have new players. Every single go around against every team is different. So I'm just preparing like I've never played them before, I guess.
Seth, you've always been a guy since we've known you. It's about team, no matter what you did. But one of the storylines within the storyline of the big game is obviously the two fat quarterbacks in you and Will. As a competitor, even though you don't play against each other, both on offense, does this get you geared up a little bit more because you realize the accolades that he has played to, and obviously what you've done in a short time here? Does that kind of get you excited to go see what you can do against Will?
I mean, yeah, I guess in the past I've had quarterback battles, and I mean it's about team versus team. But I mean, I guess that's in people's minds. It's not really in my mind, like you said. But I mean, it's been mentioned. I guess he's a great quarterback, and I just have to prove myself every single game. I don't want sympathy. I just want respect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna try and go out there and prove it every single game.
Do you understand the build up to this game kind of has the two of you as storylines going into, hey, whichever one of the great quarterbacks plays better might win this game?
No, to be honest, I haven't really seen that or looked at that. I try and get off social media during the season for the most part. So, I mean, maybe that's a storyline, but I'm just, preparing with my guys. Nameless, faceless opponent. That's kind of preached. X's and O's, try and out-scheme them and outperform them whenever it's game time.
If you look at last year, you did a really good job of just like staying even keeled, even when things weren't necessarily going right in the game. Look at the Mississippi State game, had a rough start, but you guys were able to pull it out. How important is that, specifically for week one, to just make sure that you stay even keeled, not just you, but the whole team throughout the entire four quarters?
I mean, especially as a quarterback, just growing up, that's always preached to you. Don't get too highs with the highs and too lows with the lows. When a good play happens, something bad will probably happen or is going to happen. Or something bad happens, it's going to turn the other way. And there's going to be bad plays and good plays within a football game. That's just the nature of it. So just trying to stay even keeled, like you said, and play each play like it's a new play. Don't think about the last play and whatever coverage they were in and base your next play off of that coverage, you know what I'm saying? Just go through your reads, that play, and live in the moment.
Do you feel like that mindset is easier after having a full season?
I mean, not necessarily, to be honest. I just feel like I've always kind of been that way. Just go with the flow, not plan things out too much, just kind of go with the flow and not get too high or too low, just stay myself.
Can you take away stuff from last year's game, even though this is a new team? Like, can you, in your preparation, just kind of some ideas of what they're going to do to kind of help a little bit, so it's not just new?
I mean, yeah, obviously watching film and things from last year and what they did defensively, and then of course just being in the game and feeling their defensive front. You can't take away that experience. That was the biggest line that we played last year, in my opinion. Maybe Houston, but I mean, just feeling that pressure. That's the main thing I took away from their game last year.
Seth, what's the build-up in the locker room right now? Because this is the only game throughout the season that's been eight or 9 months leading up to it, because it's the first one. How excited are you guys knowing the opportunity that you guys have, and it's only a few days away now?
I mean, our guys are extremely excited. I feel like our whole team has a lot to prove, in my opinion, because obviously last year 6-6, excuse me, with a couple plays that could have changed our record, to be honest, in my opinion. So I mean, I feel like everyone has a lot to prove, especially as offense, in my opinion. I feel like there's a lot of plays we left on the field last year, and our guys are ready, in my opinion, and we're just excited to showcase what we've been doing in the spring and this fall camp.
On that note, Ryan on Monday told us that you know, it is, you guys take it one game at a time, but he understands the bigness of this one because it is the first one. It is a regional rival. There's a lot, it's an SEC team. There's a lot of built up in that. Is there a little more into this one, especially if you also consider, you know, you guys are like 2 touchdown underdogs, so that chip that you guys always carry is on the line as well this week.
I mean, I didn't know that, to be honest. And I mean, I guess it varies between every person. Some people may consider this a bigger game than others. To me, every game is as big as the last one or as big as the next one. So I'm going in with the mindset of just, you know, trying my best, trying to execute every play. It's no bigger than the next game, in my opinion.
So you didn't know about the 2 touchdown underdog?
No.
What's your reaction to that if that's the first time?
No reaction. I mean, that's going to be the case likely the next time we play them next year, even though we don't play them. And, you know, it's probably the case last year too, but it doesn't matter.
Does it motivate you guys though when you talk about having something to prove? Is that what you're talking about? That outside of the program, there's people may not know what this team can do?
I mean, I'd say, yeah, teams or people don't know what we're capable of. But, I mean, as far as motivation factor, that doesn't really motivate me. I have self-motivation and trying to just prove myself right, not prove others wrong. It doesn't matter. Outside opinions don't really matter. I'm just playing for myself and for my team and for our fans.